Talk shoes. Recorded live.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be across the nation or around the world. Once again, you are listening to the VMware Community's Roundtable Podcast. Today is Wednesday, January 28th, 2026. My name is Eric Nielsen, and with me today I have my regular co-host, Bob Plankers. We're here today to cover community news and talk about what's happening with the Code Labs in 2026 and just general chatter. So, Bob, how's it going?
Going all right. General chatter. Not a military person, clearly, but I don't know. All the snow that's been happening, everyone's been hunkered down. I've been using it to it's snowing cold up where I'm at. It's been very cold, and so just using it to catch up on some stuff, do some writing. I don't know. It's been kind of nice in that regard. So. Yeah,
nice. The same thing. We're in January, end of January, and that's what it is. It's just cold and quasi miserable. California, we dried out a little bit, so we've had some sun, but it's still frost on the shingles of the roof when you look out in the morning to your neighbor's house. It's chilly, and we've had gray, periodic gray. So I was just saying, we have at least 6 more weeks of dreariness before we come into California happiness in March. So. It's kind of unfair for the rest of the world that actually has it for quite a bit longer. So
I should come out and see you guys in March then.
Yeah. All right, Corey Romero, we'll drive by you. I know the experts are in the swing of things. Give us an update.
Yeah, so vExpert applications, we did an extension, and that extension, so applications are going to close on February 2nd, and voting will begin February 3rd. The target date for the announcements is February 16th, and then just after the announcement, we're going to kick off a few things. We're going to kick off our 2026 kickoff meeting, and that's going to be 2 meetings, one for Americas and EMEA, and the second is for APJ. That's going to be obviously an evening meeting. We're going to kick off the AI project. That's going to happen right after we announce. And then we're also having the experts participate a lot more in depth in beta programs. And also the experts for 2026 are going to receive another free year of VMUG Advantage. And so not only will you receive the welcome email, you will receive a follow-up email just after that as well, talking about all these programs and all these things. And there's a couple things that we need to do this year for VMUG Advantage and some other things. So keep an eye on that email, and looking forward to announcing the experts for 2026.
Nice. I know for VMUG Advantage, we did an update release that we talked about. Just to reiterate, we do have the 2024 VCP certs now active in the platform, as well as the refresh process is now working and tested and behaving properly. So if you're a year in and you want to re-get your licenses, in the portal, you get a list of licenses, but they're in the portal only as 1-year licenses. They expire at the end of the year. You have 6 months to renew them. And so to renew them, you take a 20-question refresher exam to get them renewed. That exam is now live, and the code has been sent out by VMUG. So if you're an Advantage member, look for the bright purple and green mail from them that has, confidential, and then they give you a code. It's one code for everybody. We're not particular about the code, but we just don't want it to get out there too much. But then you go into your education portal, and there's a drop down for getting the list of exams with a code. It's pretty straightforward. And I have updated the code blog that takes you through the guide on how to do your Advantage. I put a section 12 in there now that says how to refresh. And I have some screenshots of not only the email, what the email looks like, so you can see the email. I blocked out the code, so you can't see the code that I put in there. But then I also show that screen where the drop down in the education portal. So you can go in, take your test, and if you fail your test, you can retake it in 14 days, and it's free. You can keep retaking it until you get it, but it's 20 questions. You should be able to pass without any trouble. Once you pass, then you get your license panels activated for the next year. You'll still see your license panels for the previous year, right? So those go away, they just get pushed down. and you're good to go. So that's kind of the process there. You'll get additional license panels. You'll click them. You kind of order them. It's like a Broadcom order. You'll request a license. You'll get order email. Usually takes a day for that to get processed, and then you'll have your license keys for VCF 5 and your generation token for VCF 9, and you will go for another year. For each certification you do, you get 3 years as long as you're a VMUG Advantage in good standing member, and that's about it. I think that's all there is. Oh, one other thing, it defaults to your first VCP certification. So a lot of people go get their VCF 9 certification and they're like, great, I'll get 3 more years. I'm like, nope, you get your 3-year block from when you first passed your first VCP certification when we announced this program. So if you took a VCP certification last year, then you're already 1 year in. It doesn't time out until you've expired that 3-year segment. Then you can use a new certification to get another 3-year block. So that's how that works. So that's all live. Excited about that. People have been using it, and I've seen some great vExpert blogs, Corey, that talk about setting up their home lab and running their home lab using the licenses. So people are being successful.
Great to hear.
And Bob, here's what I would say. I get all the escalations where it doesn't work, and I get like 1 or 2 escalations a day on this where edge cases. And I always wonder, is it working for anybody? Because all I see is the fails, right?
Well, yeah, I know the no news is good news thing in IT is just terrible sometimes, So yeah, how do you know if it's working or not?
Right. And every once in a while I hear, oh yeah, it worked for me. It was great. But I get the people that are stuck. Right. And it's
yeah, you're going to get me one of these days when I finally decide to try to figure this out, because I believe Broadcom IT has crossed up my personal login with my corporate one. So, so I'm not a good indicator of any sort of success.
People do. I get the occasional Broadcom employee that has come in, and if you have a separate email address, that you can get through it. I know several employees that are getting licenses on a separate email address, corporate, their own email.
You've been told to do so.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, but you can, and it works. Yeah. But what happens is people come into the support portal, login, and it defaults you back to your employee support portal. And then they don't know to go back to the VCP portal, and they get stuck in the support portal. And because you're an employee, the support portal is completely different. It shows you your training that you do for employee training and a bunch of other things, right? And they get completely lost. So I get an employee escalation once a week on, I'm in the support portal and I don't see any licenses. They're like, yeah. You're in on you logged in as your private email address, but you got redirected yourself into your employee portal. Go back over there, do this. And then they go, oh yeah, okay, got it. So
cool. I was just talking to somebody the other day about speaking of support portal, the need to view each of the disclaimers and the whatever, you got to click on each one of them before you can click OK to download things like that.
Yeah, we get that, right? You got to click and accept approval and click on each of the little blue links that are in the please read list. And there used to be just one blue link that said please read. Now they got 2 that you have to click.
Adventure,
It's
good times. Well, once you figure it out.
Once you figure it out, it's fine. And then but I get, it's one of these things where all you have to do is a couple tricky things like that. And we're such high volume in these kind of programs. Like, if you get 6,000 people, only 1% of them fail. That's like what, 600 people you have to deal with, right? Or 6,000, 10%. So 1% would be 60 people.
60, but still,
60 people, yeah, that's enough. That it's annoying, but it's fun. So yeah, moving on to what we got going on this week is the email blast for VMUG Connect goes out today, and then we're doing social for all the Connects. We did episode what is it? The last episode, 773, I believe it is. No, this is 775. So 773-4, we talked all about Connect and what's going on. The email blast for registration went out today. We're doing social on the Connect. So if you're an influencer, vExpert, anybody else listen to this, watch for the email, retweet it, let people know, because we're trying to create buzz around the Connects. Bob, we talked about you being in the Minneapolis one, right? And
a little bit.
We were going to
this week, yeah, and so
we were going to we're going to invite you to the day 0 Birds of a Feather talks on security. So we've got Chris McCain, and then we have
Chris and I do the road show together. Like, yeah. We're two peas in a pod, and so he comes at it from the workload and network security side of things, and then I'm platform security. And between the two of us, we make one whole security story. So
we also agreed that you should drive to Toronto and do that one too, right? Because how many hours is it Toronto? Can't be that much for you.
No, here, let's see. Yeah, I'll look that up. I'll fire up some Google Maps here.
And I'll be at Toronto because there's a VMUG board meeting. So I was like, I was originally going to go to Orlando and Minnesota. Now I'm going to also go to Orlando. And so, yeah, I'll be at 3 of them. And we're like, yeah, Bob can go to Toronto. That's shoot. Don't you have a truck? You have a truck. You just get in.
I do have a truck. Yes. It's about a 10.5 hour drive. Well, it'd be about
ouch.
Oh, the way I drive. But it'd be all right.
I thought it was like 6 hours. I'm like, God, a guy from the Minnesota, Wisconsin area. That's nothing.
That'd be different if I were in Detroit or something like that, or Buffalo.
Yeah, it'd be an easy.
I did the whole tour. I did that once in college, basically, or right after college. One of my college roommates and I we were bored during spring break, and we drove around Lake Erie once. But that drive is nice. I mean, when is Toronto? Toronto is May or something?
All in April, May, June. I think that's when all these things are front loaded to stay away from the Explorer.
Yeah, Toronto is May 12th through the 14th. Yeah, that'd be a drive. That's chance of snow is low.
11 hours. When I drive to Vegas, it's 7.5 hours, and that's kind of on the top end of what I like to do for a 3-day trip, right? It's like, but 11, that's over the top. That's like me going to Arizona, Phoenix.
Yeah, I can do it. I've gone to see customers in Detroit, in the Detroit area and stuff like that. And so, let me think about it. But that's cool. That also means I need to put in for travel, but that'd be all right.
I was just giving you a hard time. All right, so that's what we're talking about there. The emails go out today. Watch for it on social. I'm sure Corey will send out a notice to the experts. Don't forget to promote the Connect stuff. I know that Amsterdam's coming up in March, and I think they have 75, 80 people registered already for the paid event. We're expecting 400 to 500 there. We know that Frank Deneman signed up to do one of the first day Birds of a Feathers on forget what he's doing. Frank is doing
he does a lot of AI stuff.
Yeah. He signed up for the AI Birds of a Feather day 0, so that'll be fun. And then we have
doing that. Going to be there as well. So
who is?
Chris McCain, I thought was going to be at.
McCain's doing the day 0, also Birds of Feathers. I'm organizing all the Birds of Feather stuff. That's why I'm spending time on it. But also we reached out to Duncan to see if he wants to do a little bit. There's a BCF one, so we'll see if Duncan signs up. I can't commit to him yet because we've just like we're reaching out to Bob. We're signing people now, right? So
strong arming us. Making us guilt trips and things. Yeah.
Let's see. He's going to be there. I know he's going to be there. I think Duncan's doing one of the keynotes or something. So it'll be fun. And they are always all the guys from the Netherlands are always super engaged.
Yeah, old school Dutch guys, talking about VMware stuff. Yeah, that's hard to miss.
Right, exactly. And then we did get final confirmation that we will have the code labs at all of the Connects this year, except Amsterdam. We're not going across the pond to do that one, but we are going to be at all the rest of them. So Minnesota will be there, and then all Orlando and Texas and Toronto, right? So we'll be at all those, and then we are going to be doing the mini forum where we got approval to do the next version of the mini forum where William Lamb and his blog article on modding an NVIDIA RTX 4000 to fit into the mini forum. He has a blog article on that. We'll put it. We'll post. We did post that on the external chat for the podcast, and Bob's got it on the video feed now. The article there, and that's what we're going to be demoing. So we're ordering some of the RTX 4000s to put in the mini forums, and we're going to bring them along to Code Connect, and then probably do a rehash of how we got VCF9 running on the mini forums, and then a module that talks directly on enabling the GPU, and then doing private AI and vMotioning workload from one to another, right? So that if you want to, go that extra step of enabling private AI, spending some time on private AI, and then looking at how we did it on the mini forums. And if you're not mini forums, you can obviously get your own GPU and do that work. But we'd spend that time just exposing everybody to the geeky tech of tiny machines running ridiculously big workloads on tiny machines, right? So I discovered
the other day my mini S forums, that same form factor, were just screaming hot because of all of that stuff. And so, yeah, I can only imagine what you're going to have, little toasters. So. Yeah, and I'm syncing up with William to have some fun with that and see what I'll publish the temperature specs on that. Like what do we actually see them running at, right? Which should be fun, because they're cute little machines, and that's what we got. I think we got we'll have only 2 tables of 8, so we'll have 16, and then we'll run them for the 2 days 1 and day 2, right? We'll have labs. So, if you miss it, you can drop by and we present, and then we'll get a couple other people to present those as well. And just to present, just to have the hardware there and to have, a place to get together and talk a little bit of shop on code, right? And then, write some PowerShell if we can to do the workload, the GPU workload migration. Yeah, just run it by command line so that you can see the command set that actually, migrates the workload. But each one of the stations won't have that. We'll just have one set of servers at the front of the space. So, cool. But we usually give everybody permission to hack on it, right? So that you can, as long as they don't reboot it or anything. I did that once in a lab. I think it was Equal Logic Lab back in the day. I asked them if everyone had a different array that they were messing with, and they said, "Oh yeah." And so I rebooted mine. No. It was the yeah. Congratulations, Bob. You just jammed up the entire class. Yes. So
yeah. And I haven't paid attention to anything else on VCF 9. I heard 9.2 or 9. Some versions now out, right? That
9.0.2 got released.
But I thought we got rid of the .0 releases, but no.
So what we did was we got rid of the update, the letters and all that sort of stuff. So instead of 8 update 1 and 8 update 2, 9, we don't have 9 update 1 and 9 update 2. Those become 9.0, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. 9.3 will be update 3 equivalent, that sort of thing. But then we get the point numbers too. So there's actually 4 digits that are in any version for VCF now. Major, update release, another bundle. The first 3 are bundles, and then the last one is like an asynchronous patch. So if you've got 9.0.2.1 or whatever, that'll be like a security update for 9.0.2, that sort of thing. So trying to make some sense out of it, because the numbers and letters and all that stuff were just a little crazy.
Nice. Yeah, I know that there was we were looking at trending articles to do podcast invites this week. And one of the trending articles was, why you want to really go to 9.0.2, right? And I think it was some security patches that were in there.
Yeah, we're always improving stuff. Security. Well, you think about security. Security is also about availability and integrity and all that stuff. So, but there's a lot of bug fixes going into it. And as people are adopting 9.0, they're reporting things and we're getting them fixed and all that stuff. And so, yeah, no, it's good news. The release notes are out on techdocs.broadcom.com. Here, I'll put the link out in if I can type.
Nice. Yeah. I was just looking for my update of all the trending content, and which I want to do a shout out to the blog article that covered that. Right, 9.0.2. Where is it? But you think we have over 250 trending articles in January?
That's good.
Yeah, I know, right? Like there's quite a bit of content out there that the experts are blogging, all kind of 9 content. Like we should share this spreadsheet so you guys can see what it is. But it's like I have 250 articles of content, and you'd think I'd be able to share it with you right now, Bob, but I can't find my tab anymore where you guys are actually.
It's all right. We can look at the release notes. If you want to see what's in, I always encourage people to read the release notes, what's new in something, what's changed. It's nice, even if we didn't fix it, it's nice to see the problem that you're having listed in the known issues, because that means we are fixing it. Just it didn't make it in time for this release, that sort of thing. But it's out techdocs.broadcom.com. It's not gated. You don't have to log into support portals or anything like that. And you can just drill into cloud infrastructure software and then Cloud Foundation, Cloud Foundation 9, and then release notes. Look at that. And 9.0.2.0. So, and then you can just kind of scroll through it. Bill of materials, the bomb, as it were, a lot of stuff.
So, Corey, I have a question for you, not to change the topic too much. I'm just going to log back into StreamYard.
Yeah.
When the new vExperts go out, right? How long does it take you guys to update the directory?
Oh, yeah, it updates within seconds.
All right, so that's part of the
That's part of the what? Lost you there. Yep, we lost him.
Yeah, he said he was going to bounce out and back in.
Oh,
this is the Eric.
There we go. I don't know if we're going.
We've got multiple Erics. Oh, look at that. I don't know if the world can take more than one of you, Eric.
Yeah. I can remove
stereo too,
but I can't remove.
That's all right. We can just leave you there. I could boot you if you wanted, but I'm not sure what that'll do to the old one.
You can't boot me out of the page.
Oh, maybe I can't. Yeah.
I tried it myself. You can't.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a podcast. Wouldn't be a live stream if something wasn't going wrong. So.
Right.
Yeah. Anyhow.
So answer your question, Corey. Immediately. That's good. So you get your directory updated. And for people that know, anybody can look at the directory, right?
Yeah. Yep. You don't have to be logged in. You can just go right to the directory and take a look there. You can see all the vExperts, everyone in the sub programs, and the pros.
Very cool.
Perfect. So back to Code Lab, right? I don't know if there's anything else to talk about there. We're going to be there with people's Google marketing. I believe you can register for them, right? On VMware Live. I'm sending the description in, so watch for that. And I can't find it.
So, register for the Code Labs at the Connect. That's a pre-registration thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll be the case for the certification exams too, right? Just like like the Connect last year or whatever, where it was best if you pre-registered for it.
Yeah, drop it. You want to register? They fill it. I'm I'm trying to kill all tabs. If I go away.
Yeah, Eric's audio. Eric, your audio is kind of going in and out. So
I'm not going. My CPU is going as I click through tabs.
Cool. Tony, what's new with you, man?
Not a whole lot. Snow. We have about 9 inches of snow here.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
What altitude are you at, Tony?
No, not quite. Kansas isn't 4 or 5. It depending on where you are in the state, it's around 2,600 above sea level.
Nice. Yeah, we've got. Usually, I've got a ton of snow this time of year. I have maybe an inch.
I can send you some.
House. No, I don't want it.
I put some in a cardboard box.
It's rained more than it's snowed here this year.
I'd put some in a cardboard box and send it to you, but I have a feeling I know how that cardboard box would show up.
I used to know somebody that froze, would make snowballs and then freeze them and then get them out in the middle of the summer and throw them at people. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. At the time, I thought it was kind of.
I'm back.
I appreciate it now. So, yeah, hey,
I did get back.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Look at that. One instance of me. Right?
Yeah.
You ever have a browser that has 40 tabs on it, and then you just eventually have to just say kill the whole browser, and then come back, and you're like, so. Yeah, I couldn't find the one where I had a dual instance of myself, so it was impossible. Yeah. So live streaming here.
We're counting the altitude of Kansas at the moment, so you haven't missed a whole lot. So yeah, it looks like the mean altitude of Kansas is 2,000 feet. I saw. So yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So,
learn something every day.
There you go. The more you know.
My kids and I, we watch TikTok videos in the evenings sometimes before bed, and that's pretty much the only time we do it. And there was it was a little sad because there was an a cappella group singing the Reading Rainbow song the other day, and I was like, oh heck yeah, my kids are like, what's that? I'm like, oh, killing me here, They don't even know who LeVar Burton is. Parenting fail.
Yes.
Cool.
I don't think I have anything else to cover today. I think we want to get on and just let people know that Connects are there. We did publish the last week's stream today where we interviewed Brad Tompkins. We had him on the show, and we published that today. So we did not publish that last week. It was on YouTube, but it wasn't on iTunes. It didn't get the RSS feed didn't get updated till today, because today's the day where we're announcing the Connect stuff. So if for people that are paying attention to this, you've already seen a podcast for today in iTunes and on Spotify. So this one I'll probably publish tomorrow, just kind of to have a second one. Try to do it every week just to be on the cadence. But we actually published the Brad one today to be in conjunction with the mail that went out reminding everybody of Connect, and the social that's going out tomorrow to remind everybody. And we're doing speaker cards. We're doing community speaker cards. So we will be publishing what's happening at each of the Connect. And I don't know if you guys remember when we had the 28 days of happiness campaign back maybe in 12, 13. We're doing that for the Connect stuff. We're trying to do 30 days of happy Connect stories, right? So I don't know if we'll be able to find the Connect, but we are looking at the community speakers at Connect. And so they are trying to do community topics at Connect where it's not just big Broadcom executives coming and talking. It's actually community talkers as well. Field CTOs are also being invited to go to Connects and bring their customers. There's 2 social, moments. There's Tuesday, day 0, Tuesday evening, where you'll be able to socialize for a couple hours. And then Wednesday, there's a party offsite. They call it offsite, where we're going to go to somewhere and do stuff. And so those 2 events, field CTOs are going to be invited to the Connect, so you can schmooze with, your local regional field CTO and engage with people. So we're coaching people to do that as well. And so it should be fun.
Yeah, no, that'll be really cool. And the Connect, the one in St. Louis, the first one of these was really cool. And the focus, I really like the focus that it's a user group. It's not another Broadcom VMware sort of event. You get enough of those, but and not that we won't be there and we won't be talking or whatever, but the community, hearing from the people that are doing the stuff out in the real world, right. Deploying the stuff, solving real problems for organizations, their companies, all of that stuff. That's a much more powerful thing than me yammering on about hypothetical customer situations and stuff like that. Not that that'll ever stop me, but so.
The other thing I would say is that the ANS division and the ANS and Kubernetes, I don't know what we call the Kubernetes software.
Yeah, the Tanzu folks.
The Tanzu folks are also going to be at the Connects. They've spent some money to be there as well. And so there will be, conversations that are happening around security, vDefend, Avi network, load balancer, as well as Tanzu, right? So good topics to engage.
Kubernetes stuff, yeah. So it's not so newfangled anymore.
Yep. So fun times there. And we're in the 28 days of Connect happiness, I guess we should call it, right? Doing community. Somebody asked me that, like, how's community doing, right? And I'm like, it's doing well. Yeah, doing well. We were talking, I'll tell a story. We're talking, Corey, I don't know if you remember when we had the old community platform, and we had how many people are logged in on the community platform per day. And we were watching it, and when we first deployed it, the platform did not have an API that would allow you to get how many people were actually on the platform. So we kind of looked at the logs, figured that out, that we ranged from 450 to 550 every day. So I don't know if it was you or Keith Shaw wrote a little JavaScript that made up a number between 450 and 550, and then put it up on the site. And every time you logged in, you'd get a different little number between the range. And then every week we'd go in and modify the range so that it looked like, oh yeah, there are people there, and there were people there. We just didn't have an API, so we manually created that. And then once a week we'd go in and look at the range and update the range.
Yeah. And statistics. So
until we forgot about it.
Lies, Eric. Yes. So.
Until we forgot all about that we had done that. And then we left it on there for like 10 years. And when we upgraded to a new platform, we got the new platform, and the new platform had an API. It would give you the number. And we looked at the real number then, and it was like 206, right? And we're like, what happened? What's going on there?
The old one was better.
Yeah, we've lost everybody. We were like running around trying to figure out where did all our community members go, until we remembered the old number, was generated at the peak VMware days, like 2010, right? When everybody, I don't know if you remember the old forums platform that had all the leaders and numbers that you could play, and everybody was kind of leveling up and playing. And so that was the peak forum traffic days, right? And then we got Twitter and we got other things, and community bifurcated to all kind of different channels. Reddit, community conversations went all over the place, and nobody was just going to forums to say good morning every time. And so that 500 every day went, half of that, right? Which we forgot to update that number. It was Corey's fault, but point is,
I didn't write that. That was Keith.
Wasn't Keith that did that? All right, yeah.
Yeah, it was Keith. It wasn't me. Yeah.
All right, yeah. There you go. But good times. Community is always alive. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for coming by and dropping by. Say hello. We have, I think, 6 or 7 guest invites out. We'll have somebody real to talk to next week, and we've already had.
If people want to talk, you want to come on the show or whatever, what should they do? Like if they've got a topic or think something's interesting, should they reach out to you, Eric? Or?
Yeah. Myself or Corey would find Eric.Nielsen, Nielsen at Broadcom.com, or Corey.Romero, Romero at Broadcom.com. Both of us, you read our mail every day, and if you want to come on the show, we'll invite you. Yep. Cool time. Cool. Yeah, and we send out invites every other Friday or so. So we're back on that gig, and I think there's 7 or 8 that have invites now, and several have already said they're going to come on, and we just couldn't get anybody on today, so we'll go back next week.
Cool.
All right, guys. Good to see you.
Thanks, everyone.
Rest of your week. Talk to you later.
Later.